Long ago, in the city of Hangzhou, there lived a little girl. At the tender age of 9, tragedy struck when her mother passed away, leaving her and her 5-year-old brother in the care of their father and a new stepmother. Unfortunately, this stepmother was cruel and treated the siblings with disdain. One frigid winter day, the stepmother instructed the little girl to venture out into the biting cold, carrying a bamboo basket. Her task? To find and cut fresh grass. But as she searched from dawn till dusk, the frozen landscape yielded no green blades. Exhausted and shivering, the girl sat halfway up the mountain, tears freezing on her cheeks. Amidst her despair, a mysterious voice echoed from above.
To find green grass, seek the mountain ravine. To find green grass, seek the mountain ravine.
The girl looked up and saw a white-headed bird soaring toward the ravine. Determined, she wiped away her tears and followed the bird's flight path. Through twists and turns, she chased the elusive bird until it vanished from sight. But there, standing like a guardian, was an old pine tree. Its lush branches formed a protective canopy, shielding the ravine. Pushing aside the pine's boughs, the girl discovered a winding stream. Its gentle flow was flanked by vibrant flowers and lush grass, creating a scene reminiscent of a springtime garden. The little girl felt immense joy when she saw the lush green grass, as if she had stumbled upon a precious treasure. Without hesitation, she squatted down and began cutting the grass. As she continued, she walked farther and farther, eventually reaching the end of the stream. Her bamboo basket was soon brimming with fresh green blades. As she stood up, wiping the sweat from her forehead, she noticed a white-robed fairy not far ahead. The ethereal figure held a finely woven bamboo basket and beckoned to her. With a warm smile, the fairy addressed her. "Little girl, what a rare guest. Come stay at my house for a few days." Curious, the girl looked up and found herself in an entirely different world. Neat rows of houses with white walls and roof tiles stretched before her. In front of these houses stood a grove of short trees, their leaves a vibrant green, even larger than her palm. Other white-robed fairies moved gracefully through the grove, each carrying a finely woven bamboo basket. Their laughter and songs filled the air as they collected leaves. Following the white-robed fairy, the little girl entered one of the houses. Inside, a gentle rustling sound greeted her. To her surprise, she discovered numerous snow-white insects feasting on leaves within round bamboo trays. The white-robed fairy explained to the little girl, "These snow-white insects are called silkworms, and the vibrant green leaves are mulberry leaves." Delighted, the girl decided to stay there. During the day, she helped the white-robed fairies pick mulberry leaves, and at night, she joined them in feeding the silkworms. As the silkworms grew, they spun silk around themselves, resembling little white peanuts. The white-robed fairy told the girl that these snow-white peanuts are called silkworm cocoons. She taught the girl to collect the cocoons, boil them in water, and then extract shiny silk threads. Using flowers and leaves, she dyed the silk threads in various colors. Green leaves produced emerald silk, red flowers yielded crimson silk, and yellow blossoms transformed into golden silk. These colorful silk threads were used to weave cloud brocade by the goddess of weaving for the heavenly emperor. The girl spent her days happily in the mountain ravine, gathering mulberry leaves, tending to the silkworms, and extracting silk. 3 months flew by. One night, she had a disturbing dream of her stepmother beating her younger brother. Startled awake, before dawn, she decided to rush home. As she left, she carried 2 bags of mulberry seeds, dropping them along the way, hoping to find her way back by following the trail of seeds in the next day. When the little girl returned home, she was astonished. Her father and stepmother had aged, and her younger brother had grown into a young man. Her father, both joyful and sorrowful, asked, "My daughter, you've finally returned. Where have you been all these years?" It turned out that while the girl spent 3 months in the mountain ravine, more than a decade had passed in the mortal world. She recounted her journey at the mountain ravine to her family. Everyone was amazed, believing she had encountered divine beings. The next morning, the girl wanted to revisit the mountain ravine. As she stepped outside, she noticed a row of lush green saplings along the path. These were the mulberry seeds she had dropped, now grown into mulberry trees. She followed the tree line all the way back to the mountain ravine. At the entrance, the old pine tree still stood proudly, but venturing deeper, she lost her way. Staring at the old pine tree, she suddenly heard the white-headed bird emerge from behind it, squawking,
"Thief! Thief!"
Only then did the girl remember that she hadn't bid farewell to the white-robed fairy or mentioned taking 2 bags of mulberry seeds. Upon returning home, she discovered that one of the bags contained a small piece of paper covered in silkworm eggs. Realizing her mistake, she felt ashamed and regretful of her carelessness. Nevertheless, rather than dwelling on her mistakes, she decided to make good use of the silkworm eggs. She hatched them and fed the silkworms with tender mulberry leaves. Gradually, the process of cultivating silkworms and extracting silk from them became widespread in the area, reaching neighboring towns and counties. Legend has it that the white-robed fairy she encountered in the mountain ravine was actually the goddess of silkworm and sericulture, attracting curious visitors, who sought her, but never found her again.